Alright Bonehawks, this video is all about Sindel. I have been learning this character and thus I want to pass the knowledge on to you on how to counter her. That being said, she is a problem. She's very, very good, has some very, very good buttons and works well with a lot of cameos. So today we're just going to go through her base moveset, not talk about any cameo stuff, just going to go through her moves, what's punishable, what's safe, what your options are, so you have a little bit of a better chance against her. Let's get into it.
Accept your death.
So starting with her normals, for the most part, they're just regular ones or just, lead into other things. But she has a couple really problematic ones. One is her sweep, her back four, which has pretty crazy range. And of course, safe is -4. Her down poke, down 3. The range on this is insane. That's a poke. It's -12 though, so if you block it, move on in. Because yeah, you can close that distance, and some characters might actually be able to punish it. Johnny Cage maybe might be able to punish that. But yeah, know your options with your character. And lastly, everyone's favorite move, forward 1. So this is one of the craziest moves in the game. It reminds me a lot of Jade's little wiggle stick thing from MK 11, except this one's kind of on crack because it's a high and then 2 mids. So you might be able to poke under the first one, depending on how the Sindel player is using it. But the main thing that I can suggest is that the forward 1 is a high, so you try and use that to the best of your knowledge. But this is just a really good button, like spacey, like the pushback that's on it is absolutely nuts. So yeah, this is a problem. I definitely would go into practice mode and see what, if anything, your character can do about this move. Yeah, I use it a lot personally on knockdown just to try and shred wake-ups. So doing something like a delayed wake-up might be an option if you're just struggling with this on the wake-up option. But yeah, overall, this is just a good button. There's not a really great universal counter against it. But yeah, starts with a high. Try and poke underneath it, I guess. So the first string that we're going over is 111, which is off of her fastest normal, which is 7 frames. So she'll use this kind of sometimes to try and stay safe, depending on whether there's a gap before the last hit of this string. So there you go. You can armor through it if you like. Flawless blocking doesn't really give you much of an advantage. Doesn't even really kill much pushback. So you don't really need to use that. The forward 1-3 is one of the most obnoxious strings in the game. It hits you away. It's relatively safe on block, -9 with a ton of pushback. If someone is doing the string a lot to you, you want to make sure that you practice flawless blocking the second, sorry, not the second hit, I guess technically the 4th hit, the last hit of the string. She kind of pops you with her hair there, because that'll kill a bit of the pushback and make her -19 so you can come in with a punish. There we go. So whatever move that your character can do, there is still just a little bit of pushback, so you might want to make sure that you lab your options after this, and also just be aware that Sindel can also just cancel that into the low fireball or the overhead kick, which we'll get into those, but there are options. She doesn't have to do this, but this is just good to know if you see someone doing this all the time and trying, abusing it. 2-4 and 2-4-4. This string here, again, a gap before the 3rd hit in this. But this is just a good string again all around. Standing 2 -7, but standing 2-4 is +2. You do the whole thing, it's +5. So you do have to be careful. Sindel is a little bit on the slower side of some of her bigger buttons, and both of these strings have some pushback. So she's not going to get anything terribly crazy unless she's in the corner, which is obviously a problem. So yeah, again, there's a flawless block gap before the last hit of this, and this just changes it from +5 to -5. So you can't even punish her with this, but you can take your turn back, so make sure you do that. Yeah. Don't want her to be getting fake frames and fake turns on you. You need to be taking your turn against Sindel any point that you can. Also, watch out for Sindel to kind of stagger this one. This is a really good one for her to do kind of a half dash back. Make your poke whiff after this, and then come in and whiff punish with her back 2. Back 2-3-2. Huge gap before the 2nd hit. You can up block that very, very easily and punish it. Generally, you won't see too many Sindel players just throwing this string out. Back 2 is something that I purposely haven't talked about yet, but we're going to get there. But yeah, this string here, safe on pushback, but as long as you see her go up in the air, you can up block the dive kick and full combo punish her from there. There you go. Punish away. 3-3 is a safe overhead, which she can, again, cancel to make a little bit of a mix-up there, but the overhead's fairly slow. This is another one that you can flawless block to punish. It'll make it way more negative, so you're able to do so. There you go. Again, punish away. I don't use this move enough as a Sindel player, honestly. I should probably throw that in more. The only thing that I will say is it starts with a high, so, I mean... can easily poke under that. It's kind of a funky animation, isn't it? I like it. It's fun. So forward 4 is one of her better mids. Moves forward, and then she goes into this string here. If you're unfamiliar with Sindel, this looks like an overhead, but it's not. It's actually a low attack. And don't get too mixed up by this, because this low is incredibly slow. Again, I will throw this out every once in a while just to kind of knowledge check somebody. To see if they know that. Also, technically, it's a full screen loan, which is crazy. So she can direction this too with a close one in the corner. She can put it middle one, or she can put a far one into whatever combos and stuff, right? So again, this is a low. It's full combo punishable on block. Look at this lovely frame data here. Minus 19, and no pushback. She's right in your face, so yeah, don't let her get away with that. So on to her special moves here. We start with the low fireball, which is, again, just cancelable. She kind of flips backwards, so it keeps her fairly safe. Well, she is safe after it. And then the enhanced version, which, if you're back here, doesn't look any different. It says start up 9, but do you see any difference? The difference here is that it actually adds a kick animation. So there's a mid-low, and she can actually use this to go over. Like, I've done it a couple times against Liu Kang to, like, go over block strings into Kung Lao hat. So she's actually off the ground for a moment, so just kind of be aware of that. But yeah, it's real quick. Combo starter in the corner. I will say it is some awkward spacing, but it is minus 20 on block. So if you block it, if you do happen to block it, catch Sindel's throwing it out there, just lab whatever your punish is with your character. Let's figure out what Sub-Zero can do here. There we go, 1-2. Give him the all 1-2. Then from there we go to the standard hairball, which can be done forward. And again, just a high projectile, there's not much to say. The enhanced version, if you use a bar meter, will actually eat your opponent's projectile. So that's really good in Zoning Wars, so you got to be careful against that with Sindel. She can also do this move in the air. The enhanced one does not eat projectiles, but you can cancel it into float, which we're going to get to. So again, standard projectile stuff. To counter this, you just want to be ducking and moving in underneath the high. Even if she enhances it, it's still a high, so she has to mix up between this one and this one. I do think if you gave her a mid projectile on top of these two, that'd be a little busted, but that's probably why this stays a high. So yeah, just make sure you move in, be quick, be on the lookout for this one, and she can kind of lame you out, so make sure that you're also aware of where she is going on the map, because sometimes she gets to the corner, and that's where she doesn't kind of want to be. And yeah, your patience pays off, and you can corner and do all sorts of combos and have a lot of fun beating her up. So Scream, again, not much to say on this one. It is absolutely death on block, so if you ever block it, sometimes as a Sindel player myself, I think I've hit something, or doesn't quite hit confirm, and then yeah, minus 34 right in your face. So literally do the biggest punish that you have, no matter how slow it is. Should work against Sindel here. Other than that, you won't see too many Sindel players just throw this out. Like, generally speaking, this is going to just as a combo extender for her. But if you do see it, make sure you punish it. Okay, so this next one I'm going to touch on. This is going to be a little bit of a longer little part of this because there's so much to talk about. This move here for Levitate. So she can do this by canceling off of back 2. So back 2 puts her airborne, cancel into it. So if you're defending against her, if you see her do this, you can up block her attacks. And then that'll leave her open for a full combo punish. Whoops. She doesn't have to attack, though. Be aware of that. She can just cancel down and throw punish you for doing your up block, so be careful of that. That is an option that can happen. She could just float away if she wanted to, like, see ya. Move back here. She can also use it to bait anti-airs, so she can just start floating there. Looks like she's going to jump at you. Oh, just kidding. Oh, just kidding. Again, bait like an up block or something. So you got to be aware of that and make sure that you see how the Sindel player in question is using it against you. So, important thing to note is if she uses meter on her levitate, it makes it pretty much impossible to do much about. You're kind of just eating the follow-up. That's going to jail. Yeah, so... But again, it costs a bar a meter, so depending on what she does afterwards, you might be able to get a combo that you wouldn't have gotten before because she used the bar meter. But, so... These can work, they can be good, they are gimmicky. Again, the regular one is just a easy up block will punish it. But again, like I mentioned, there's some mind games you can play, and those that are a little bit more experienced with Sindel than me might know something that I don't, and you can put that in the comments down below. But yeah. Be aware she can also do, again, boom, boom. So she doesn't have to go right into the levitate. Well, that's where it can get tricky as well if she wants to spend a bar meter. Because you're going to try an up block, and she hits you with that instead. Probably won't do that because that's quite unsafe, but we'll get to that. And again, she can just do this move in the air wherever she wants. Float around, play footsies in the air, you know. It's a really strong move, so you need to... And there's just so many different things you can do with it, so really understanding how your opponent is using it is super duper important. Okay, so the Inspire move increases the regeneration of her cameo. It'll come back faster than it did before. As you kind of see, young Sub-Zero here is coming back faster. So if you ever see her do the little finger snap thing, she did the splits first. I guess she's just dancing, but yeah, that's what she's doing. She's calling Sub-Zero to come back faster. Okay, so I haven't really seen any Sindels doing this. With the enhancing the Inspire here will disable your combo breaker. However, she is stuck in place when she does this for like almost 3 seconds, I swear. So if you see this animation begin, you want to run over and hit her as soon as you can. Because, yeah, and if you can get a combo going while she does this, it'll kill the timer on this, and then you won't have to worry about it. It costs her a bar of meter to do this. And yeah, as you see, there's a little aura on her when she does it, so you can kind of see... For that aura, you can't use your breaker in that time frame, so just be aware of that. But yeah, the startup is ridiculous, almost 3 seconds, so I haven't found a way personally with Sindel to really set this up safely, so if they do this, just do your best to get over there, hit her to try and kill that timer. Queen's Command will kill your cameo, so make sure that you are aware that this can only do it when your cameo is on the screen. So a good one that I chose here is Motaro, because Motaro's fairly slow startup. So if he comes out to try and do the tail turret, Sindel, and then it just stuns him for a little while there, and then you go off the screen. So yeah, it's kind of annoying you don't get to use your cameo for a little bit. So just be aware of that, but again, it is only when your cameo is on the screen, so try and do your best to make sure that you're either forcing her into a block situation, or maybe you're using your cameo in a combo. You're just bringing your cameo out for something like Sub-Zero armor or a low hat, something like that. Could get hit by the Queen's Command, so good to know. Enhanced Queen's Command will steal your cameo for a short duration. There you go. Pretty fun move, but again, she has to wait until your cameo is on the screen in order to steal it. So he says you are alone. She steals your cameo and uses it right back for you. This is another one that as a Sindel player, I haven't really used that much yet. Serena's a fun one to do that. You know, Serena puts out the little money pit and you just steal her and then just do it right back. Kind of fun. But defending against it, again, it is a little slow. So just make sure that it's certainly not as slow as the Enhanced Inspire, but might be able to get a whiff punish on there. Just something to know. And lastly is her Cartwheel, which is an overhead and fairly fast. Enhanced one is her armored move. So if you think she's going to do a wake-up attack, I would just block high. Because this move is minus 25, similar to Scream, it's pretty much death on block. So you want to make sure that you block and punish accordingly. There's not much else to say about this. There's a fun brutality off of it. As far as fighting against it, it's just dead on block. But you can create some mix-ups between this. These are fairly reactable mix-ups though, so I mean, wouldn't worry too much about that. And I believe that's it. We went through Sindel's entire moveset. We found our options against all her specials, her normals, and all that kind of stuff. If there's anything I missed or you want to add something to this, feel free to post it in the comments down below. We are a community here. We're all just trying to help each other out. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like because it really helps me out, and subscribe if you haven't, because I make new videos almost every single day. Hashtag Bonox, all that stuff, and we'll see all you Bonox in the next video.
Accept your death.